So growing up,
Yeah.
where'd you grow up?
I grew up in county of Nyandarua, in the highlands.
Okay.
And one of the reasons why I don't feel cold is because I come from a place called Nyahururu. And people say sometimes it snows. It's probably not quite snow.
Oh, it does?
It is more, what are the hailstorms?
I know those mawes.
Yes, correct. But I grew up and actually went to primary school in Nyahururu, in a school called Ndeithia, which actually I'll be going back next week.
Hold on, Ndeithia.
Yes, in Maironya.
Okay.
Yes. So you know it?
No, I just the name,
Yes,
Ndeithia.
yes.
God help me.
It is God help me. I think
Yes.
it was nicknamed probably late 50s when the people came in and settled there. I
Yeah.
think there was a forest all the way from Nyeri. You know, most of the people who settled in Nyandarua came
Yeah.
either from Nyeri or
From
Muranga
Nyeri,
or
yes.
Kiambu. So because initial settlements were just few people, so I suspect it was a very lonely journey.
Hence Ndeithia.
That's why it was called. It's actually near the big forest that then gets into Nyahururu Forest, which gets all the way to the Thompson Falls. That's where the falls comes from. And so it was cold, but really kind of modest upbringing.
Okay.
But very positive in the 70s, growing
Yeah.
up in the 70s.
Yeah.
Yes.
What born are you? How many siblings?
So large family,
Okay.
second born of 9 children.
Oh, wow. Wow.
So 9, so large family.
Yes.
And in fact, I asked my mom, how did you cope, which compared with my one child, although my
Yes.
wife actually comes from a small family. She was
Okay.
the only child. So it is a contrast, which is interesting.
Nice.
And but the thing about being a second born is, and especially those days, and in a modest family, in a rural environment, just like any child,
Yeah.
you almost become a parent early. So you start helping at home. You are used to being more responsible,
Yeah.
and all that. You see all your siblings growing up. Eventually, you start also, when you start working, supporting some of the last borns
Yeah.
to go through schools and all that.
Yeah.
Because my parents didn't kind of advance too far in school, and so they saw, just like most people during that generation, so how can we achieve, or how can our children achieve what we didn't?
Oh, wow.
Because they grew up during the colonial era.
Yes.
And as you know, very restricted. My father told us stories about he was very bright and so on, but somehow his exams kind of vanished. The results vanished.
Yeah.
So basically, it was a very good foundation, and also teachers, parents just want you to be successful. No agenda, very positive, but also values were important. A sense of integrity,
Yeah.
hard work, dedication. But I think there's one thing that was very clear from early, which is very little safety net. So we saw education as access to opportunity.
Okay.
Not necessarily success or
Yeah,
anything, but
yeah.
just opportunity.
Yeah.
If you are educated, and those days you could access any school
Yeah.
in the country,
Yeah.
depending on your grades.
Yeah.
So if you worked hard, there was always, a payoff.
Yes.
And times have changed because it depends on family you are from and so on and so forth. And there's nothing wrong about either coming from modest or privileged background. It's just how you use those backgrounds and what you learn from them. And for me, that's the way that I look at it. Even when I talk to my son, I say, look, it's not good or bad.
Yeah.
It is
Perspective.
It is perspective. But I enjoyed my childhood, despite the fact that we didn't have a lot. Kind of walked to school and did all the things that young rural kids would do. Eventually, until now I went to Starehe for high school. One of my passion, even as we go through our supporting community in foundations, is education, because I benefited massively from it. I'm here because of the early schooling,
Yeah.
the benevolence of teachers,
Yeah.
the generosity of parents, and therefore, and the encouragement to continue doing well without almost wanting anything.